taking on some extra fuel. The plan was to depart Page late in the afternoon and head northeast over Lake Powell and into southern Utah. Lake Powell is an artificial lake that was created by building a dam in the Glen Canyon. The terrain around Lake Powell creates some interesting shapes. There's more shoreline here than the entire west coast of the United States. Countless rivers and creeks snake their way into the lake. The Colorado River you see here eventually finds its way through the Grand Canyon. After showing Sean the amazing meteor crater at Upheaval, we had to dodge some restricted airspace to make our way into Canyonlands Airport. We made it to Canyonlands near Moab, Utah. Got some sandwiches sitting under the shade of the airplane. Parking ramp is full, so we're kind of just parked in the middle of a dead-end taxiway. I think we'll be okay here. All of these planes are sleeping. So we're going to grab a bite to eat and then head out to Canyonlands and do some aerial photography around the needles and maybe fly over arches while we're out here. We saw 4 or 5 of the arches and kept our distance so as not to annoy the people on the ground. With Moab behind us, we crossed back into Canyonlands National Park, easily my most favorite place to do aerial photography. I've been mesmerized by this area. This is my 3rd trip, and not my last. My first trip here, I was by myself. But the best part about this trip was being able to share the experience with Sean. She'd seen pictures, but it's not quite like seeing it with your own eyes. We left the area to the south with the intention of seeing Monument Valley, but as you can see here, it was smoked in. There was still plenty to see, even in the middle of nowhere. This was a foolish attempt to try to get a shot from outside of the airplane, but air at 100 miles an hour has such a force, it's no joke. I wasn't sure how much of this footage would come out. It seemed pretty smoky, and the sun was getting low in the horizon. Most of the landscape was in shadows, but there were little bits that were just showing the last golden rays of sun. The smoke had finally caught up to us, so we made our way around Navajo Mountain and started our approach into Page. As you can imagine, poor visibility into an unfamiliar airport is not fun. Stay tuned, tomorrow we fly over the Grand Canyon in Zion National Park.